Hey, what's up, pups? How you guys doing? Doing good? Happy hump day. It's Wednesday. Fun stuff. Oh gosh. I need to hit keto again. I need to go harder than normal. But anyway. But hey, how you guys doing? You guys doing good? Doing well? We've got some fun stuff to talk about today. I was looking around, browsing the old internet, seeing what's happening in the old pop culture field, from video games, maybe some anime or manga or all that fun stuff. But before we get started, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, smash that thumbs up, and make sure to ring the bell to get notified when I go live. We all know how YouTube is. YouTube can be scummy. They don't like to send out notifications, but if you do follow me on Rumble, you can get notified there. I even have a locals, which I do need to start utilizing that some more. But, I also try to let people know on like X when I go live and all that stuff, and other social medias in the description below. So, really appreciate it. If you want to just give a follow, help boost and push that algorithm. And if you want to go beyond that, you can always check out membership and subscription tiers. Nothing special between any of them. Be nice down the road, but right now it's just, I'm humbled and blessed by just hanging out with you guys. So, but yeah, Stellar Blade, Stellar Blade, still getting people salty. I love it. So many game journalists butthurt. It just keeps winning, regardless of like what's happening. And we've got some news about Hades 2 that I'd like to look at, because it pretty much exposes the hypocrisy of everything that these game journalists and companies do. But we know that, we all know they're hypocrites, so there's nothing new there. But it's just funny that a really prominent thing is there. We'll check that out. And then with Sweet Baby Inc., the dye detector, Kabrutus apparently has launched a website, so we'll check that out as well. So yeah, I've got some topics that we can talk about too. Don't know how long the show will be, but it'll be fun regardless. Let's go ahead and start with We'll jump over to this Niche Gamer article here. Like I said, you can find this on Niche Gamer. Can I make this? That's not what I like. Nope. God damn it. No one wants to see my ugly face. Damn it. What the F, David Blaine? Really? I'll have to like make a custom layout to where I'm not super like tucked away in the corner, like the Gimp from Pulp Fiction. We're not in a box here. We can be let out more than once to, I don't know, to watch a victim, not let them escape while the other man is getting drilled in the butt over a sawhorse. But yeah, Sweet Baby Inc. detected. Curator launches a DEI detected website. DEI, of course, representing diversity, equality, equity and inclusion. I mean, equality as well, but I mean, these people don't see equality. If it was actually equality, they would be tooting another tune, but we all know for them it's equity. But Sweet Baby Inc. detected, curator launches DEI detected website. So Kabrutus, the creator of the controversial Sweet Baby Inc. detected Steam curator, has launched a new site called DEI Detected, or Die Detected. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I would want to pronounce it, because we all pronounce it as die, because die is where video games go to actually die. You Get that consulting firm going. They'll be like, you got to do all this to make it up to date for modern audiences, and your game's dead. So DEI, which stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is an organizational framework that proponents claim is meant to encourage the participation of historically underrepresented groups in society. Well, there's the problem. There's the first problem, number one, like historically underrepresented groups in society. What does that have to do with video games? You could easily have that if like the video game is talking about like a timepiece or something, or it's set in a certain time. Time. How many times can I say time in the exact same sentence? However, in recent months, DEI has become a catch-all term for progressive policies, and in the context of media has come to refer to censorship, very true, and design choices that are seemingly motivated by this cause. Oh yeah, we all know that. I mean, look at them hating on Stellar Blade because they hate women, because they claim that, you know, there's the male gaze, and that, you know, Stellar Blade, for example, Eve is a sex doll and all that stuff. But let's be real here. All that's just projection, because these people actually hate women. That's why they have to defeminize them and then throw in masculine traits, because I don't know, maybe some of them are still closeted homosexuals. Like, who cares? It's the year 2024. Like, if you're not comfortable with your own skin now, like, that's it. I mean, we're at this point here where no one cares. Number two, just be true with yourself. Like, come on now. Don't be a bitch. Just own up. So a quick glance at the Detected site shows a list of a small handful of games, including Pokemon Go, which recently sparked fan backlash after an avatar redesign. Oh yeah, that was awful. That looked like garbage, like a huge dumpster fire. Like, all the avatars, like, clearly the women aren't women, and any actual women are like fat as whales. Can I like... Oh, I'd have to switch over to another one, but didn't mean to stop it, but I wanted to show like some pictures here. Here we go. Yeah, look at that. See, that is a woman right there. See, I can answer the question right now. What is a woman? Right there. What is that over there? An atomically disproportionate thing. The hips. I mean, I get you. What hips? I guess I really should say what hips, because I'm not seeing them. Curves are gone. They just want to make every like woman a board. Not only BORED, but also BOARD as well. I'm not the best speller if that is wrong. But yeah, that you got this image. Ted Cruz Zodiac Killer. Hips don't lie. Very true. Very true. That Adam's apple doesn't hide either, no matter how many surgeries you try to get. But yeah, just I'm sure this is like a bunch of tweets right here. Where's the oh dang it. I was really hoping it had the really big fat one with like the weird crotch like area. But anyway, you guys get the point. You guys get the point. It's garbage. Back to what we were talking about. Wabam. So speculatively, dang it, niche gamer. Why? I don't even have any whiskey and I'm already stumbling over words. Inspired by consultants, Gamer X. Oh my gosh. gay indeed, as well as the recently released Euden Chronicles. Oh yeah, I heard about that too. It's pretty much your hopes and dreams are shattered, I guess, from the release of what they showed, what they did, which stands out for not having a known consultancy. I want to say consultancy firm attached to it, but makes the list nonetheless for politically driven Western localization. Yeah, jeez. DEI detected claims to have the same goal as the initial Steam group when it comes to informing consumers about products available to them, saying in the official facts, the DEI detected has the goal of bringing consumers awareness by letting people know what games have DEI ideology implemented in their development cycle, as well as how it affects our culture as a whole. In the wake of rebranding, it seems the site has moved on from merely informing users if Sweet Baby Inc. is involved in a game and making their own decisions to advocating that players avoid games which it considered as DEI infested. Beautiful, beautiful words. Saying forced DEI is becoming unbearable on games. It's time to push back. Vote with your wallet. However, while the site does host articles with researched evidence about a game's alleged DEI design, the site refuses to inform consumers where to purchase the game if they consider the issue worth ignoring, simply saying we do not share links to DEI-infested games. The site refuses to inform consumers where to purchase the game. What's the problem? Not for the site to do it. Like, if you guys don't know where to get your games, well, I'm sorry. You can go anywhere. You can go to Amazon. Like, yeah, I don't care that it doesn't have any links to get said games. And I do have this site pulled up here. Well, bam. There you go. So, South of Midnight, well, Forspoken, we all know that. God of War Ragnarok. I have not played that one yet, but that sucks. Alan Wake 2, we kind of know. Pokemon Go. And there you go. Very good, very good, very solid. Kabrutus keep doing the Lord's work. Yeah, and of course there's a bunch of people out there doing the Lord's work as well. But yeah, this shit has got to stop. It's got to stop. No one is buying the game specifically for having these ideologies in here. No one's buying the games for that. And if people are doing it, it's a very, very small majority. Or minority, excuse me. Small majority, large minority. There you go. There's a little twist for you. But yeah, no one is buying these games because it's like, that the real gamers aren't buying these games because they're like, oh my goodness gracious, Forspoken has a strong female main character, apparently a different ethnicity than white. Yeah, I'm gonna buy that game because it has everything that I wanted to. Because that's and that's the funniest thing about this as well, is that these people don't realize that when you break everything down into like this checklist of woke ideology, that is actual racism, bigotry, sexism, and all that in its purest form. That's the most hilarious part that I constantly just chuckle to myself about, is that these people think that they're fighting the good fight, but really you're the biggest racist out there, and you just project it onto other people because that's your go-to. Like when you see the SJW checklist in their bio, that tells you all you need to know. But yeah, you guys can check out the website if you want to. That is deidetected.com. My last show, I put in like a links and even shortened the links for all the articles that I'm reading. But apparently, YouTube, at least on a couple of the links, thought that it was spam, so they removed it. So yeah, YouTube, boom to you. I can't even give people the source. So whatever, I'll announce where I get it from. But I figured it, trying to be nice, but no, it's spam. Next on the old list, Hades. Big Hades controversy showing that the hypocrisy is so prevalent. it is insane. And what better way to show what these people really think than just having it right in your face? Here we go. This comes from Bounding into Comics. Hypocrisy at its finest. After years of complaining about 60, I was going to say 60 female characters. Well, they probably have, maybe even more than that because these guys have nothing better to do. But after years of complaining about sexy female characters, Western video game industry publicly thirsts over cast of Hades 2. Do I have? Okay, I do have that one. Because we'll bring it up later, but I mean, this kind of ties into everything as well of what I wanna talk about. So, in a textbook example of the idiom "rules for thee, not for me," after years of chastising and decrying the general video game playing populace for enjoying attractive female character designs, the Western video game has responded to the recent reveal. The hell? No, sorry. I got distracted. The Western video game has responded to the recent reveals of Hades 2's new character design by publicly and proudly proclaiming just how much they like to sleep with each and every one of them. So the designs in question were first unveiled on April 17th, courtesy of the 3-hour live stream of the game hosted by its developer, Supergiant Games. There, not only were players given their first look at the updated appearance of a handful of Greek gods who are set to return from the first game, Demeter, Artemis, Selene, and Aphrodite, but were also introduced to newcomer Hephaestus. This incarnation portraying the mythical blacksmith as a portly and wheelchair-bound amputee. First and foremost, I can't. Every time I think of Hephaestus nowadays, well, number one, if I want to be serious about it, number one, I think of God of War 3, that version of Hephaestus. If I'm in a joking mood, I think of the Hephaestus from that one Rick and Morty episode where it's like, Ocean's 12 or whatever, and they all say "you son of a bitch" sort of thing. I just think of that scene when like they go visit him at the forge and they like throw a hammer at him and he catches it and he's like, "You son of a bitch." That's what I think of. So we got the picture right here, Hephaestus, god of the forge. Now, well, I mean, we all have questions just by simply looking at this. And look at this up here. Can I like zoom in on those guys? Dang it. I don't think I can. Oh, that sucks. So I don't know if you guys can see it. Search. What does that mean? I mean, their face, they're just like, it even looks like they're not happy about what happened. But whenever I need things forged, I always my first go-to is to see if the blacksmith is wheelchair bound, because that's when I know I'll get good quality craftsmanship from a skill set in which A lot of standing is required, but Hephaestus has done it. He's done it. And despite having spent the past few weeks accusing anyone who dared to enjoy the attractive design of Stellar Blade protagonist Eve of being everything from incels to pornographic addicts, or pornography addicts, nearly immediately after Hades 2 made its character reveals, members of the wider video game industry, in particular, and unsurprisingly, video game journalists, took to the internet to celebrate just how sexy the aforementioned Greek gods. So we got some tweets right here. It is very funny that there are chuds out there being like, the woke gaming journalist hates sexy women. Meanwhile, my entire timeline is hooting and hollering about these Hades 2 character portraits, proclaimed Lex Ludy, the editor-in-chief of the video game news site Start Menu. So how do they make them even hotter? Replied Games Radar and game industry contributor Alicia Haddock. They must be stopped. Likewise, The Last of Us. Oh, geez. Immediately disregard the opinion. Anybody involved with The Last of Us Part 2, just immediately disregard it. They made them hotter. Kotaku senior editor. Oh, gosh. Here you go. Alyssa Mercante, who has blocked me, by the way. I don't care. I'm not staying up at night because of it. I sleep quite soundly. Who readers may know for having authored the site's now notorious defense of Sweet Baby Inc. took particular interest in Aphrodite, retweeting her designs and questioning, "Mommy, sorry." So retweeting McConaughey's post, PC Gamer contributor Dominic Terrason mocked Gamergates. The wokes are stealing all the sexy from games. Hades 2, yes, our game is the most inclusive, progressive take on Greek myth ever written, and also the maximum horny, I guess, you can possibly get while somehow squeaking in with a T rating. So this actually right here is the point. Oh, sorry. Nah, I'll fix it later. Sorry. Something weird happened. So I'm by no means like the best Greek expert out there when it comes to like history and stuff like that. But if anybody ever knows anything about the Greek gods and stuff, they were a bunch of horny people. They were capricious, meaning they would torture humans on the daily and stuff like that. So this idea of saying our game is the most inclusive, progressive take on Greek mythology isn't even accurate, because this is how they were to begin with. And the Greek gods weren't exactly like liked by the populace because they would torture the humans. Not to mention, if you want to get scripturally, like every Greek god really is like a fallen angel. So they're not there to help you, that's for sure. You can even say that Zeus is probably another name for Lucifer, because if you read the scripture and kind of know Lucifer or Hellel Ben Shakar, which means Hellel, it means brightness. Hellel means like to be bright, to boast, to like interesting enough to be like to boast proudly like a madman. Very fitting for him. And Ben Shakar is son of the dawn or son of the morning. But that's a lot of stuff that where if you kind of go back and line up everything, you get everything you need to know in the scripture. So taking note of the fact that this outpouring of safe, horny rhetoric was coming from the same industry that almost universally spent the last few years condemning them for similar behavior towards characters such as Nier Automata's 2B, Bayonetta's title protagonist, and most recently Stellar Blade's Eve, players eventually eventually took to directly calling out those thirsting over the cast of Hades 2 for the sheer hypocrisy of their what you like bad, what I like good outlook towards media consumption. In turn, rather than admitting to the glaring, obviously hypocrisy of their stance on sexy characters, or at least to having a bias towards conventionally attractive characters, the industry instead took to making justifications for their double standards. Yeah, of course they are. It's it's the liberal arts. All they do, they are fornicators. When they do fornication, it's okay. Why? Because to them, they're fighting for the greater good. Like, I never can get a straight answer from them. Like what I said like earlier, where for them to fight racism and sexism and bigotry is that they become racist, sexist, and bigots. And then you ask them, explain to me how being a racist fights racism. They can't answer it. Mostly because they're retarded, because they're just sheep and don't have like originality or an actual opinion that is of their own and not just, going following the other sheep. But yeah, I mean, I the minute I saw this, I knew right away what it was going to be about. Not so much like the article, but like when they started saying like, "Oh, they're so hot and they're so cool," and it's like, "Oh, okay." So when you guys actually make a attractive female, it's okay. But notice the thing though. Notice the thing that they attach to it. It's not just because they're sexy, it's because the debauchery that is attached to it that makes it okay for them. I'll bring it up in another article too, but this is kind of what this this one journalist talked about with Stellar Blade, but then like, jacking off super, super hard about how awesome Baldur's Gate 3 is. I'm saying that metaphorically, because you could bang whoever you want, from human to bear. So, penning a piece headlined Hades 2 is the king of hot we need right now for Kotaku. The aforementioned Mercante argued Hades' character sexiness is woven into their personalities, as much of a part of them as their wants, needs, and emotion, and their bodies, however scantily clad or salacious, are not in motion. They cannot be manipulated or posed or peered at from different angles. So now it's all about just the angle. So you're saying if in Stellar Blade, get rid of the camera rotation and just have it at a bird's eye view, I guess, very pulled up, then it'd be fine. Like, what is this weirdo talking about? Instead, it's like you're looking at statues of paintings of these gods and their eternal, infinite sexiness. You look at any Greek statue, and it's literally what Eve could be. The only difference is you're saying it's okay because we're in charge, and whoever. Amazing. Amazing. So she further attempted to defend her and her ideological allies' actions. There's a desire. This is all a bunch of bullshit being vomited out of her mouth just so she can declare that, just so she can hide the shame of enjoying debauchery and fornication and all that stuff. This is all that all these people talk about. This is all the facade, just so that they can feel better at night knowing that they look at the most weirdest things like behind closed doors, which in the end, which no one cares. Like no one cares at all. But then when you're infesting video games and stuff like this and try to say that this is how it always was, no, not at all. There's a desire here, sure, but there's also power and reclamation. There's longing because you only get a tiny little taste of their beauty. Okay, I played Hades 1. Like, Hades is actually a really good game. I never once, like, was just sitting there looking at, like, the goddess of love and just being like, mm, they're so beautiful. Mostly because I was too busy, like, playing the game. You know, is what she's talking about, you might as well just have made one of those graphic novel games. So then you can just, at whatever desired scene you want, you can just put down the controller and just stare at it. But then by doing that, you're being what all the people that you said, all the you're becoming the incels and the porn addicts and all that stuff that you call other gamers when they look at Eve and go, man, she has a nice butt and some nice big boobs, because we're men and we like that sort of stuff. The concept of look but don't touch is incredibly sexy. It's part of why Strict Club, again, like, I'm not playing Grand Theft Auto, but yet, Grand Theft Auto isn't theoretically isn't even about strip clubs. It's a part of it, but is it the main story? No. Many of which have strict rules on touching the performers are so lucrative. Oh my gosh. This is all a bunch of liberal drive that I've heard it plenty of times. I heard it back when I was in college, and yes, I got a bachelor's of fine arts degree because I wanted to go into 2D and 3D animation and video editing and stuff like that. Ugh. So, offering a similar refrain on Twitter, Games Radar staff writer Jasmine Gold Wilson retweeted a post from fellow user Veeds D's tweets claiming that Aphrodite knows she's hot. You can tell by how she looks at you. Eve doesn't. She's posed but expressionless. Hades too. Oh, ouch. Are you saying Koreans are expressionless? Very, very discriminatory. Hades 2 has a wide range of character skin tone, age, body type. Stellar Blades women seem to only look like Eve. Sexy isn't bad. Sexy isn't bad, but sexy isn't bad. Pretending there's only one type is. And added, no one wants to stare at a fat chick. I hate to say this. No one wants to see that. What is it? Like in the Norm Macdonald live show when Super Dave was on, where he's like, and Super Dave's like, I don't want to see hefty women dance. Or no, he goes, I don't mind seeing hefty women dance, but I don't want to see it on television. And then later on, like Norm's like, where would you like to see hefty women dance? In the circus. Like, that's a more an appropriate thing to like see hefty women dance, like in the circus. Dude, I laughed so hard when he said that. Oh my goodness gracious. But yeah, like, insane. Anyway, let's see. And added camera angles. Camera angles say it all, dude. Didn't I say earlier what it's so if we had a camera angle that was like bird's eye view, super sky high to where you can't see, like one of those overhead like running gun sort of games, like apparently they'd be fine with it, but that's not the style of Stellar Blade. Camera angles say it all. Aphrodite is shown from a low angle. She has agency. She is powerful, an intimidating figure. Eve stares blankly at you head on while you're not sitting right behind her spandex covered ass, observing her from above because you have power. Dude, she is reaching far inside of that bull's asshole to pull out this bullshit. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is currently Stellar Blade is getting ready for its April 26th sortie date. Meanwhile, Haiti 2 remains on track to arrive from the heavens sometime March 2025. Oh my gosh. There you go, right there. Jeez. Wow. Retarded. Hey, Cell Liger, what's up? Amazing. But there you go. Like, absolutely ridiculous.
They've been serial crushed by some huge friggin' guy.
I had to do something to clean my palate here from this insanity. All right, because we're gonna be checking out this one, and this is the one I kind of wanted to like. I was thinking about making like a video about it, but I mean, we might as well just do it here because this one. So this is when Stellar Blade announced that they're guaranteeing that everything will be uncensored for all regions. It'll be uncensored. Now a couple of things that's happened since it's declared that. Number one is that currently there has been censorship that has taken place, and that's with some graffiti on a wall. Here, I'll just bring it up here real quick. I wasn't the big talking point, but it was pretty funny. Let's see. We got that one. Here we go. All right. So this is from Learning the Law. He posted a picture about this. So the biggest thing is as you can see here, actually, this is what they've changed it to. What the heck? Why is it? Jeez. Like my things were open and were like covering like the share screen button. I was like, dude, that's not. Well, we'll pull up Grum's here first because Grum's I believe has everything that we kind of need to know. So Stellar Blade Hard R controversy was manufactured as a coordinated attack. So IGN and Kotaku respond ready with articles, including Sony official responses exactly the moment the screenshot was posted by YouTuber Man Fight Dragon. So here's the original tweet right here. So hard R. Now, I'm not going to go into why it's bad. I think it's hilarious and it's funny, and who gives a shit, because really we know the joke, but we know that that's not what it meant. But anyway, impossible for news to get comment and response from Sony in such short time. This had to have been a collision designed to be posted. Instant embargo lifted to create fake news and controversy. And then this guy like dives in to the controversy here. So this is where, after they announced that everything will be uncensored, this happens. Apparently, like here's just a timeline showing that Sony says Stellar Blade art referencing racist language was unintentional, will be patched out. Well, if it was unintentional, why patch it out? Just leave it. You like seriously, you seriously thought that they purposely like did this on purpose, that they want to do jokes like this and stuff like that? Oh my gosh. Are you telling me that they had time to notice this controversy referencing racial slur? See, and you want to know what's the funny thing is no one really thought about it that much. Like if your default is to think that way, very questionable. Very questionable. Now, granted, when they made this a big deal and I saw it, I giggled because I knew what it was about. I knew why they were all up in the frenzy. I thought it was funny. What's up, Loki? Stellar Blade is a go-to game. People can't take jokes much anymore and needs to stop taking things so seriously. Yeah, absolutely. My look at this is this. Number one, like, and people have made comments. They're like, I thought it was like when it says hard R. Someone was like, when I thought of it as hard R, I was thinking like sex and violence and stuff, like the rating system. I saw a tweet that someone made saying that, and he even said, "I'm black." That wasn't my first impression. So first and foremost, there's that where you just see graffiti and then you move on. Then there's the impression of someone went there with the low hanging fruit, and you giggle and chuckle at it because it's like, oh yeah, haha, sort of thing. And then there's these people who are like, it was a racial slur hidden inside there, but now they're saying it was unintentional. I was like, well, then leave it alone. Who cares? Who gives a shit? There's tons of stuff in video games I don't like. I'm not calling for it to get censored. So dumb. And then sometimes you do go there just because of the shock value. I mean, I won't lie. You know, we all enjoy watching people squirm when you go for that low hanging fruit, or, you know, go for that. Just go like, you know, from zero to clown right away. Like just going super ham, going full max. We all do it at times. It's not a bad thing. That's the thing. It's not a bad thing. You know, none of this would ever exist if you could just learn to laugh at yourself, because that's the whole point of any sort of stereotype, is that stereotypes are just observations you noticed that you notice, and then and if you have the actual balls to laugh at yourself, because it's like, oh yeah, I guess that is kind of true. You know, all all people from the South are like inbred and stuff like that, or something like that. If you learn to laugh at it and then move on, it doesn't have any power over you. It doesn't hurt anybody. Dumb and gay. But I'll pull up the other one here, because then, so they changed it from hard to now crime. Now, I'm super hoping that they did this just to like kind of stick it back to like these people that are freaking out over it, being like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, here you go. Like, bitch, get out of here. Like, no one, you won't be playing the game anyway because you already hate it because you hate women. So it's like, why would we listen to you? So Stellar Blade had graffiti with the word hard and next to the word R. Somehow journos made mental gymnastics and connected the slur. PlayStation demanded censorship, and the word was changed with the last update. It was replaced with crime, and it's also a slur. So there you go, a crimer. Oh, dude. Oh, man. Dude, just like 2 middle fingers. It's like, fine, we'll change it. Wha-bam! Oh my gosh. Whoever, oh, yeah, if I had a PS5, I would be getting this game immediately. I really hope it comes to PC too. Part of the reason why I would want to wait for PC is exactly for that censorship patch. If someone made a mod out there, like if someone's probably already grabbed the demo, so they probably know how to pull like all the, you know, the files that show all the texture and stuff like that. I guarantee you someone's probably found where that that hard texture file is and can just reinsert it back in. That's why I'm slowly becoming like that's why I do emulation or ROM hacking or patches and stuff like that, for exactly this reason. Oh, these game journalists are mad because there's apparently a racial slur in the background. Well, you got to fix it. It's like, how about no? How about number one, the most, number one, the average person is playing the game And I know there's some people who like to explore and like to look around and just see all what was put into the video game. I understand that, but the average person is just going to keep going. They're just going to keep moving to play the game. And if they do see that, so what? They're either A, not going to get it and move on, or they'll crack a grin, chuckle, and then move on. Like, honestly, if there was like a racial slur for, I don't know, gingers or white people or whatever inside of the game, I'd laugh too. Learn to laugh, folks. Learn to laugh. Not everything has to be serious. Oh my gosh. All right, so that was pretty funny. So like I said, that kind of ties in to this next article here that I wanted to point out, and I couldn't find. It doesn't matter. What? Why did that open? My computer's like going insane. So this is from the Gamer, and not the actual like a game, not like that one on that list. Gamer. So I'd like to point out real quick, just let's see. Because the manga lawyer posted something about this too. And we'll just go ahead and just gonna point it out. Damn it. Can you not like switch to another tab? I'm just gonna point it out. This article we're about to read. Yeah. Just take a look at that bio. Boop. Anyway. So Stellar Blade's uncensored release shouldn't be a cause for celebration. Shift Up has confirmed that every single version of Stellar Blade will be uncensored. But what does that even mean? Okay, yeah, please enlighten me. What does this mean? Developer Shift Up has announced that Stellar Blade will be launching uncensored across all territories ahead of its release later this week, putting to rest non-existent fears. The game will be nipped and tucked in the name of censorship. Now, okay, so the hard R situation recently happened. So this was published a day ago. So I believe they announced everything's going to be uncensored. This person responded, and then the retarded hard bullshit happened. I believe that's the kind of the timeline that's happening. Okay, so uncensored across all territories ahead of its release later this week. And I am kind of curious on how they're going to be able to guarantee this. But I think I said that in the last show. Putting to rest non-existent fears the game will be nipped and tucked in the name of censorship. Was this ever the case, or is it being hailed as a victory to continue the newfound culture war the game has been caught up in? So a couple things here, just from my observation here. This newfound culture war, the game has been caught up then. People, you game journals started all this culture war of Stellar Blade because you hate women. You hate women. So this acting like, oh, was this ever the case? Or is it being hailed as a victory to continue the newfound culture? Or you guys started all of this. You infested video games for quite a while. And now you're finally getting pushback because everyone's tired of the bullshit. Who gives a crap if it's uncensored? Just don't play the game if you don't like it. It's so simple. But you can't like it. You have to be a part of the hive mind. It's a complicated situation. No, it's not. It's not a complicated situation. Sex sells. You want to know what's funny? Here's another funny thing too. You want to know what I learned by going to art school in graphic design and I forget what class it was, like a literature class or something like that. You want to know what the major themes of any sort of advertisement has? Money, sex, power. You're going to find any one of these three elements in any sort of advertisement. And you want to know where this came from? From a liberal college. You guys taught that. This is what I love. This is what I love. Like, this is literally from liberal arts. And now they're saying, well, this is bad. But then you have people like whatever her name, Alyssa or whatever that weirdo is, just in the Hades 2 thing. They're not actually mad about it. They're mad about it when people who don't believe in their ideology is doing it. When they're doing it, totally fine. And you can be as perverse as you want. Anyway. So it's a complicated situation, and to understand it, we need to look at the relationship between censorship and video games and how their experience often change depending on when or where we have them. Japan is known for scaling down the difficulty of certain games so that global audiences aren't turned off. While it will often be less willing to depict graphic or bloody violence in ways that Western audiences embrace. Well, I'm one of the people, again, that's why I love the ROM hacking community. That's why I love the modding community. They'll put that stuff back in. They'll fix it. Not only that, they'll fix some bugs of the games too. See, the people who are talking about, like, these people think that it's like, well, you're just doing this because you're mad about all this, what you're claiming woke stuff being is, but you're not, like, are you complaining about, like, the scaling down of the difficulty? Yes. Yes. We are. You want to know why? Because we're actual gamers, because we played those games. I'll be the first to tell you that I thought the Satanic Panic was a bunch of bullshit. And I'm Christian. Well, I follow the scripture and stuff like that. There's still problems in any sort of denomination, but that's a whole nother topic. Like, if this is supposed to be a counterpoint, you're not only missing the point, but you don't even know what the hell you're talking about, because these examples are exactly why people are cheering because of uncensorship. Now, if you're pointing out, well, it's happened, it's like, yes, and people complained about it. It's rarely about companies trying to stifle our creative expression or free speech. Normally, it's just rating board stuff and wanting to sell more copies based on spreadsheet data. Well, that's just a lie. It's both. Especially nowadays with AAA stuff. Yet there's the damn DEI consulting firm. Guess what? The higher ups still think about money, but guess what they think about as well? We'll cater to these people because we got to maintain that retarded ESG social score, whatever it's called, and hopefully we'll make our money back. Well, they're not making the money back. I want to watch your podcast more, but it's 4:50 a.m. here. Yeah, no biggie. Thanks for hanging out. To celebrate that something is released uncensored is to imply there was something worthy of censorship in the first place. And when it comes to Stellar Blade, I'm unsure where exactly the assumption is coming from. To celebrate that something is released uncensored is to imply there was something worthy of censorship in the first place. How about the celebration of something being released uncensored means is that the artistic direction, the artistic story, the tampering, like the game itself, is being presented in its purest form, in the form that the creators wanted to give to the world. That's the celebration. Gosh, am I retarded? I mean, yes, but like the self-awareness. The game is already blatant and showing off East body. Yes, you don't like it. While the violence in the trailers and demos seems no worse than most of the AAA games we play these days. It's grotesque and unique, but so is Resident Evil. But did you demand Resident Evil be canceled because there's hot women in there? Like Claire and Jill? Ada? You won't cancel Ada, not now, because the motion capture actress is Asian. Despite struggling to find where the censorship might take place, Stellar Blade managed to trend on Twitter shortly after this announcement regardless. The official social media also leaned into this news as a form of marketing, with the expectant audience jumping in and try and praise it for sticking it to the man. What man that is, I don't know. Oh, the jokes I can make here, but I shan't. I'll let you guys. But I assume he's over on the left somewhere. It's embarrassing. And much like we've written about on The Gamer in recent weeks, this sort of perspective makes us ashamed to enjoy games which otherwise ticks all the right boxes.
And this guy must be a fag.
I'll just say that you're probably not a gamer. Stellar Blade moves in the same circles as censorship from games like Tokyo Mirage Session FE, which at the time was panned by niche audiences when Nintendo decided to cover up a main character's much memed vagina bones and selected cutscenes. Outfits were edited to cover up and reduce cleavage, while detailing was removed to move away from the illusion of nudity. I don't think it was necessary, and in the years since, we have seen far more risque design in games like Fire Emblem and Persona. But back then, Nintendo was dipping its toes into a more mature direction, one that it wasn't ready to commit without alterations. And I seem to recall that when like the censorship, all the big censorship thing was happening, people were starting to praise Nintendo because they thought Nintendo was actually starting to lessen on the censorship, and they were super happy about it. But then they went back. I don't. It's like the experience we were meant to have has been bastardized. It has been by you guys. When localization staff are more than likely to do the opposite. Bullshit. As they curate dialogue, designs, and other references to best fit the intended market.
Go yourself.
That's all I got to say about that. Not all of these decisions are going to be right, but by turning it into a culture war where there's no room for debate, we don't help anyone. Dude, the projection. Oh my gosh, the projection of this person is astounding. All of this has just been, well, we're not the ones that are doing it. You guys are. All we did was just we saw a form of entertainment that wasn't living up to the ideal standards that we believe that it should be. So we infested it and just started screaming really loudly until we got our way. And then we slowly started rising up in the ranks with like community manager positions and all this stuff. ShiftUp hasn't specified exactly what in Stellar Blade will remain uncensored in the globally released versions, which begs the question of why it was worth bringing it up in the first place. It was enough bait for anti-censorship gamers to join the conversation. And you know what? I've been reading this article wrong the whole time. I should have just been picturing this person slamming on their keyboard, very, very pissed off. Because I'm giving this person the benefit of the doubt that they actually know what they're talking about. But then I even gave a warning in the beginning of like, this is just check out like the person who wrote this article. Look at that bio. That'll tell you everything. I didn't live up to my own. See, that's why not only do you walk the walk, but you talk the talk too. I failed. I should have imagined this person just being seething as they're typing this article. Not all these decisions are going to be right, but by turning it into a culture war where there's no room to debate, we don't help anybody. I should have just done that the whole time. I'm a fool. I guess I'm the fag. I certainly wasn't. It was enough bait for the anti-censorship gamers to join the conversation and see this marketing announcement as a hollow victory for a war the other side wasn't even aware was going on. They weren't even aware what was going on. I certainly wasn't. Well, that's because you're delusional. And I played and enjoyed the Stellar Blade demo more than enough to put money down on the full game. Sure. Yet it already feels tainted. Like, we'll look back on Stellar Blade as a pawn in this fruitless battle for conventionally attractive women in video games and a lack of censorship that proves once and for all that the gamers have won. Stellar Blade is uncensored, but until you show me exactly what was on the chopping block to begin with, this proclamation means nothing. If anything, it does more harm than good. Take their vag plating. Oh my goodness gracious. What an article.
Shut up, bitch.
There we go. Sweet. Oh, sweet. But let's wind down the show here on some uplifting stuff, some positive stuff that we can look. And it has to do with Stellar Blade as well. So from Sportskeeda, Stellar Blade team discloses the hardest boss who influenced the game's combat system. So Stellar Blade has one deadly boss who has challenged the development team of ShiftUp, but helped them craft the game's combat system. This detail has been recently disclosed by the studio in a new behind-the-scenes video for Stellar Blade ahead of its global debut this week. The developers apparently found it tough to beat one specific boss in the PS5 exclusive. This boss eventually influenced the overall fighting system of the action-adventure project. This article explains more. Man, when I get this game, it sounds like I'm going to be very salty. To generate hype, ShiftUp has been sharing key insights on the development of Stellar Blade. Last week, the developer shared a behind-the-scenes video on how the game was conceptualized as a PS5 exclusive title. Recently, they shared a new video on YouTube talking about the gameplay experience. And apparently there's a leak here. Like I said, you can find it on Sportskeeda. In the latest behind the scenes clip from ShiftUp, it was revealed how the combat system was designed. The developers mentioned that it was one boss named Abaddon in Stellar Blade who gave them a hard time to beat. but the challenge also helped them design a satisfying combat system. Abaddon, that's from the Bible. That's in Revelation. Ooh, it must be a demon. Wonder if that's him right there. Yeah, well, yeah, that's him. Yeah, that is definitely a dragon. Seraphim had snake-like features. Nice. Here's what one of the developers said about the Abaddon boss fight and its influence on the game. There's a monster called Abaddon that players will meet early on in the game. Everyone in the studio has a competition to see who could defeat this boss first. For that moment, all of us understood how to design the combat system of Stellar Blade. So the same sentiment was reflected in the Stellar Blade demo. Do I still have that up on your? Okay. For some reason, I thought I didn't have it up on your guys' end. Where it was discovered that Abaddon was a tough boss to fight. Players require the right amount of skill and movement tactics to beat this enemy. However, the fight is not too difficult, and a lot depends on the learning curve of players, which is mostly the core of the game's combat system. PS5 exclusive will be released globally this week on April 26, 2024. So that is this Friday. Follow Sportskeeda for more updates on Shift's Up's game. Well, I didn't mean to plug them, but that's cool. Look at that. Look at that. A group coming together to try to fight a boss in the most quick time. That doesn't make sense at all. Coming together to try to see who could beat the boss the quickest. And then help them understood the combat system. Very cool. Very cool. Almost sounds like they actually care about what they're doing and not cater, to a bunch of weirdos. Nice. I should see. I don't want to get a PS4. Guess what I'm getting? Stellar Blade, indeed, and that was perfect. And what was? All right. Well, that's all I had for you guys today. So some interesting news, some absolutely ridiculous news, and some pure insanity on some of them. But what do I know? I'm just a salty pup who likes to play games. But if you enjoyed the show, feel free to like and subscribe. We were on YouTube, Rumble, and X. Make sure to smash that thumbs up and make sure to turn notifications on to get notified when I go live, whether it's one of these shows or a show with a guest or my game streaming. I usually try to stream around 8 p.m. Central Time. Game streaming, I kind of go 2 hours. Power Up Podcast, I'm kind of seeing an hour is kind of like the thing to do, unless there's like a guest on, to which wherever that goes. Great show, Greg. Yeah, I thought it went pretty well. I think I could have done a little bit better on some stuff. Like my mind is just racing 1,000 miles an hour. So it's like, am I conveying what I'm like structuring in my head? Hopefully, but we'll see. See you tomorrow on the game stream. Yes, I've been playing Mario Tennis. I really love my Mario Tennis, the Game Boy Color version. But I do like me the Nintendo 64 version too. But we'll probably try to start another game as well. I'm thinking maybe a hack and slash. Someone suggested that I play Fatal Frame. Oh, because I just want to get freaked out about a bunch of stuff. But yeah, thanks to everyone who hung out and enjoyed the show. But yeah, feel free to check out my other social media listed in the description below. And if you want to go outside of just helping push the algorithm, maybe check out membership and subscription tiers. I think it'd be pretty cool to get 10 memberships or something like that. But yeah, we're working on trying to get the show more consistent. I'm trying to get more content out because I have been stuck in a depressive bout creatively and mentally, but I'm trying to break through that and just try to have a good fun time, But yeah, thanks again, you guys. Take care. God bless. Catch you guys on the flip side. So till then, peace.